So we now talk about William James, who lived between 1843 to 1910. These are some of the key characters. I thought we must mention them. Now, William James features prominently, as you can see there on your screen, in the psychology of infancy. And concerning the child's understanding, in 1890, that's a book he wrote, he contended that the infant is probably conscious of his environment as a big, booming, buzzing confusion. As he matures and learns, the child begins to perceive objects and then to abstract qualities. Old experiences become more meaningful as the child associates new meanings with them. Orange, for instance, which he first knows only as a fruit, comes to mean a color, a tree, a juice, and a flower as well. His concept of orange is expanded, and he has a precedent for suspecting that other complexities lie hidden behind simple sounding ones. And since the baby has limited knowledge and experience, he does not distinguish between living and inanimate objects. She believes that all objects are alive. William James saw animism, that is the tendency to attribute life to all lifeless things, to characterize preschool children. So you see, you could see animism in the preschool going children, the children who have not started going to school. They tend, according to him, to use E.B. Taylor's concept of animism, and they see spirits in even in lifeless things, including the toys, okay, that they play with. Concerning functionalism, William James is in the group of psychologists who are referred to as functionalists. They were dissatisfied with the structuralism emphasis on mental states. Instead of asking, what is consciousness, as the structuralism do, the functionalist would ask, what is consciousness for? They wanted to study the way that individuals used mental experience in adjusting to the environment. Concerning the theory of emotions, William James is remembered for his controversial theory of emotions, where he claimed that the emotional responses were instinctive. According to James, the feeling, sensations, and behavior appropriate to the emotions were inborn reactions to the particular stimuli. He compound a long list of the stimuli that had been found to arouse emotions. Fear, for instance, was supposedly an inborn reaction to certain noises, strange men, to strange animals, to solitude, to darkness, and to the high places. Concerning instincts, William James is one of the first psychologists to address the meanings of instinct. He claimed that a person has more instinct than any other animal. His instincts included crying, curiosity, sociability, shyness, cleanliness, pregnancy, sympathy. Following this, Professor William McDougall wrote and classified most behaviors as an expression of innate, meaning inborn or inherent impulses. That is innate impulses. That's what Professor Williams saw these behaviors of children as innate impulses. That is, you are born with the kind of expressions of sociability, curiosity, shyness. They are innate impulses. He added to the list, he went on to say, you are born innately in demand for food, in seeking food, in sneezing. You are innately roughing, escape, wanting to escape danger or anything. You are born innately with impulses of repulsion, among others, just as the eye twinkles when facing danger. Others included gregariousness, fighting, anger, mastery, and fear. However, when John B. Watson wrote in 1920s, it was shown that these early writings were confusing. They were confusingly acquired habits with instincts. Concerning this background of this gentleman, William James, born 1940, it is not 1943, but 1843, and died in 1910, he was the eldest son of a religious father. You can see Crunchy produce some of the most controversial people in history. And not just controversial, some of the best brains, the Crunchy children. And this gentleman started painting before changing to chemistry and then graduated in medicine. You can see he did not study theology like his father, but William James studied medicine and chemistry and later psychology. And as a student of chemistry and medicine, you can see he taught himself psychology and physiology and philosophy and started writing about it. So you can see what you graduate in with your PhD doesn't necessarily mean that is where you end up. Because you can see this guy studied medicine. Even Sigmund Freud did not start as a psychologist as such. He also went for medicine and then found himself a psychologist after training himself through rigorous academic study, through rigorous discoveries. And William James read widely in physiology, psychology, philosophy. Himself, he was struggling with depression and philosophic pessimism, as well as chronic physical ill health. So he has written some of the best books in psychology, despite him beginning as a student of medicine and chemistry, then medicine, then psychology, philosophy, and physiology. So he wrote a book on Principles of Psychology, 1890. He also wrote another tour de force authoritative book, The Varieties of Religious Experience. You can see these guys, when he was teaching himself philosophy, he also taught himself theology. And he was able to come up and connect religion and psychology. He was the first major psychologist to offer an academic study of religion, and much subsequent psychology of religion takes its departure from his work. So you can see the man was not even trained in psychology, just like the others, went on to do a thorough research and went on to do very well in that area. Sigmund Freud, a man who studied medicine also, Sigmund Freud, or Sigmund Freud for others, he also, like William James, began in medicine, but he ended up that way. So research can change us. If you do a research, you can change yourself and go far. Concerning religion, the last item today, William James defined religion as the feelings, the acts, and experiences of individual men in their solitude, so far as they apprehend themselves to stand in relation to whatever they may consider the divine. James explored the nature of individual religious experiences in relation to the healthy-minded and the sick-souled personalities. The sick-souled personalities may, through a conversion experience, move from the once born to the twice born. So you can bring in psychology to show that the whole idea of being born again cannot be seen from a religious perspective. It can also be seen from a psychological perspective, where we crave, we who are sick-souled can seek a second rebirth, psychologically speaking, just as in theological, spiritual perspective, and be born a second time and become better. So if the soul is sick, just as we say in psychology, you can treat a sick person psychologically. Yes, a psychotic person can be brought to normal. A schizophrenic person who cannot even concentrate with academic work because of the disturbances mental. So you can't stay together and read a book, write a paper, concentrate because of internal disturbances. Some of them can be because of some experiences that give a very bad memory. But a psychology would treat such a person without problem and make this person do very, very well. That is the way he also saw matters of conversion in religion from a psychological perspective, that even if you are born once, you can be born again in what he calls twice born, twice-born, and become not a sick soul, but a healed soul. His own faith was a pragmatic supernaturalism, recognizing the benefits of prayer and mystical experience in others, but not fully enjoying them himself. So you can see, although he himself was not a very pietistic or spiritualist as such, he could see the pragmatism that goes with the supernatural work that religious practitioners, the pastors, are doing out there. But he was so positive about their work, and he saw something good about them, that there's benefit in prayer, benefit in mystical experience in others. He could stand them. Those who have gone through spiritual experience, he could see how strong they become, how able they recover from past innocent experiences and become very, very useful members of society, though he himself did not enjoy them fully. I wanted to stop there. Sorry that we didn't go manage to get all the time, but we can only make a few comments and then move to the other unit. Next week we'll clear this and we let you do revision.